fire! I have a lot of fun with that. So... Woo! I don't even know if that's working! Hello! Testy McTestface Testicle Head. Yeah, no fuckers commented yet, so good to see we've got an engaged audience of like one viewer who's completely silent. Ah, come on! Say something! Give me something to talk about! I could talk about my ex, there's quite a story there. I've wanted to actually do a video on that, but there's also... That was just such a shit show on how that ended that I think there could be some funny stories out of it, kind of at his expense. Which, after what he put me through, probably would be well deserved, but hey. Trust no one is what I say. Oh, that's nice and warm. It was getting a bit chilly in here earlier. That's nice and warm. That's nice and warm. I'm wondering if I should move this upstairs. I've got an idea. It's getting a better signal there. This is what you do to get your phone to get better signal. Come on. So it will hopefully get a better throughput. Oh, it's gone into the green for the first time. Actually lifting it up and putting it in the cupboard improved the signal. There you go. Proper ghetto. Proper EEPROM 9 style. Right, is anyone actually watching this? It says one viewer. Let's refresh. I'm going to be brave and I'm going to refresh. It's loading at a reasonable rate. Oh. Hang on. Okay, we're going to have like a dead one or two. Oh, God. We could have had people who actually... How many live now things do we have? We have 2. I don't get it. Stream is offline. Why does OBS say it's online then? EEPROM 9 style. Oh, it's come back online. Okay. I think that's working. Okay, that's actually working. Okay, good. So, for any fuckers who are actually watching this, comment. Give me something to talk about that's like interesting. Right. That is... It doesn't help when your glasses steam up. That's done in there, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to leave it in there. That's got to boil, because water takes a million years to boil. I think Mum used one of my sets of kitchen scissors to do the garden today. She did the grass while I was assembling a cabinet up in the workshop. All good stuff. So yeah, the phone in the cupboard actually works surprisingly well to improve the bandwidth. A rather ghetto way of doing it, but that is just the way we roll. So, is any fucker watching this crap? I don't know. F5, I'm gonna be super ambitious. Damn you Windows, indeed. Damn you Windows. Just check it's still working. 0 comment, 0 things in this chat. pause that. So yeah, that is working. Okay. We still have about, well, the blinds total. The best I've ever managed to get to is up to 5 or 6 viewers. Made me laugh once when someone left a comment on me. You should do YouTube full time. Yeah, if I want to be on broken benefits, I'll do that. Like living in a cardboard box on the street. Yeah, I'll take it up full time. The algorithm just doesn't favour you actually doing content you want to do. It favours you doing like clickbaity bullshit. I mean, I could do like some discussion on Omniscient or something, and yeah, that's a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, watching all the drama unfold on that. I just find it hilarious at how much of a shit show that man is. But that's pretty hilarious, but I don't really have anything to say on him that hasn't been said 1,000 times by a million other people. Because you know, there's only so much you can do. That actually probably brings some views in. But what's the point? It's like you're going to bring in an audience who isn't going to give a shit about a thermal imaging camera tear down. Yes, that's on the. There's so many videos that are just on the agenda to do that I just don't get round to, either because I cannot be asked or I'm just busy with other shit, and that's pretty much why YouTube went down on the wayside again. Because I was picking up again a month or so back, before I moved into the house. Then I moved and, well, yeah. You know, things like cooking dinner and surviving take precedence over making stupid videos about teardowns of things that no one's going to watch anyway. There's going to be like, what, 50 views? Maybe 100 if I get lucky. I mean, there was a point where I was actually getting about 100 views out of a video. And then occasionally one might spike off and get a few hundred. And somehow there have been ones in the background that have gotten like into like 10k plus. It's like, how the hell did that even happen? The one that seems to have done really well on that is my old like how to use an oscilloscope debugging, but that gets so many troll comments, it's quite funny. I'm like, how would you use that? There's a scope to do like this scope to like measure like 1 billion gigahertz. It's like, yeah, you need a more sophisticated scope, mate. And the reason that video came about is, thank you, Pastor, for spilling everywhere. That was most helpful. Is because at the time, the only tutorials on YouTube for oscilloscopes was basically just going over the functions on oscilloscope. There were none actually going over, not from Dave Jones or any of the electronics people, actually going over how to use it to troubleshoot something. So that's how that video came about. I might put a little bit more in, just to, there we go. So I actually was first to the bat there, which is probably why that video got so many views, because if I remade it or re-uploaded it, it would get bugger all views. It was just the case of you got other frustrated hobbyists who are trying to figure out how to use their scopes. And because I have communication difficulties and struggle speaking in my native language of the English language, I explained it all very poorly. It didn't help the fact that I had basically only picked up like the scope like a few weeks before and barely knew how to use it myself, and just basically was going over what I figured out. I didn't know what functions were called. I got loads of people complaining about the fact I called it an oscillator, an osculator, and I can tell you exactly why that is, because I'd never heard anyone say the actual name for an oscillator before that point. So I was just like, the word looks like osculator, osculator it is. I'll just put that down to my dyslexia. That leads to me to struggle to read certain things. If I haven't seen a word before, then I don't have a clue what the hell it is. Do we need that on super? Yeah, we'll turn the fan up actually. Yeah, that's fine. You'll hear that in the background, but you'll have to deal with it. You'll have to deal with the fan. There's probably some fancy way you could edit it out, like live, but fuck figuring that shit out. It's like, what? Why would I do that? It's like that effort that I can't be asked with. It's just like you're going to have to deal with the fan noise. Tough shit. The one viewer that will watch this will have to deal with the van noise. It's like whoop-de-doo. I find it quite funny, and then you get loads of people, like loads of like channels and that going over YouTube complaining about it. It's like, yeah. There was actually something that came up recently that I felt like complaining about, but then I continually forgot what it was. No, it was just like, oh yeah, oh yes, that's it. There was the whole thing with extra credits that came up where they made this terrible video. I mean, I unsubscribed from the extra credit ages ago because I just got. They started branching out their content into loads of other random things, and I just wasn't watching it, so I just removed myself from it. The extra history was interesting, but it's quite funny because they basically brought it back, made a stupid argument about like someone completely different to the original actual host who actually was decent. And brought it back to, oh, World War II games are bad because they have you playing as Nazis. It's like, and their argument was literally the basis of it was like the bullshit video games cause violence, just recontextualized for that. And it was like they're basically 180'd on absolutely everything that they actually went for in the past. It's like, good game design? No, you can't have that because that's not representative of realism. It's like, for fuck's sake, who the hell is this moron they put in there? I really hope that was a guest speaker, because if that's what they have become now, I'm glad I'm long gone from there, because they actually used to be pretty decent, but if that's what they've become now, well, they're not even good. But hey, that was quite amusing. I found that quite funny. So they're getting like rip raw, just the shreds torn out of them there, and quite rightly so, because, well, yeah, they're being shit. Yay, we have a viewer! Do you want to say hello in the comment chat thing? It would actually be nice if someone actually did something. Maybe give me something to talk about before the next random stream of consciousness this thing comes along. But yeah, I do get a bit bored of people ranting about YouTube, and it's just like, yeah, YouTube's shit. It's only gotten worse. Google is a terrible, terrible, terrible company. They didn't used to be, but in the last decade or so, they have just become absolutely evil. Drinkies. But yeah, Google are just like terrible now. You look at the YouTube platform, it's not even profitable, so eventually YouTube will just go tank top and go to shit. And it's just, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Because it's basically just run on capital. And the only time it brought up profit was like just before the whole apocalypse thing, which is when the platform really went to shit. Right, are these ready? Yeah, I'm trying to retrieve one and I was trying to do it without burning myself. Ow. Ow. They're probably about done. I managed to poke it about with my fingers. It's still a bit solid, but that's almost done. But yeah, oh, hello. Hello, Red D. Yay, finally we have someone saying actually hello. Finally. It's only taken like half an hour. Oh dear. It's a good job I don't rely on this for any like financial. I literally have never monetized anything on my channel because it's just like it'll come to like 300 quid a year, which is just such a small amount. That's not even pocket money. Yeah, I'm wondering what the hell I'm wondering what's happening with the GitHub, whether Microsoft will be responsible with it, but it's only time will tell. You know, in the 90s, Microsoft was a big evil corporation, but now it seems to be Google and all the gaming industry and whatnot, the big public phase ones. I mean, if you want to watch Jimquisition and the shit that's going on in the gaming industry, it's a case of my advice to anyone who wants to be a game dev is fuck that shit, get out there and learn and start developing quote unquote boring software in some random niche market for some company you've probably never heard of, and then when you've done that, develop games in your spare time, stick it up in Steam, and if it kicks off and you make a ton of money, fantastic. If it doesn't, at least you have fun doing it. Yeah, Google, Apple, oh god, I could have Microsoft have really cleared up their act in the last, I'd say, 2 decades now. And, in fact, with Windows 10, they're actually clearing up their act in computer security. It's only like 20 years too late, but it's better than nothing. It's improvement. Yeah, lately at least, I would agree with that. There's plenty of time for another CEO to take over, and then they go take a shit pan to being like the super. I mean, there's plenty to criticise Microsoft about. I mean, I forever take the piss out of Windows. I also like to take the piss out of Macs for the die-hard Mac fans at work because that just amuses me. There's loads of people who absolutely love the Mac platform at work, and it's just like, yeah, I'm going to take the piss out of it because that's just what I do. Yummy pasta. I like you pasta. Look at this bowl of awesome. Right, I'm going to turn that down but leave it on. Yep, this is the kitchen anyway. I do want to do a tour at some point, but the thing that I keep running into is I'm just busy setting everything up still. I mean, the workshop's still only half built. It's making progress to get into actually looking like a workshop and being practical and useful and all that jazz. It's just a case of doing this takes time. I've been living here for about a little over a month now. But yeah, I am very much a house proud individual who keeps the place immaculate. I don't like a speck of dirt to get anywhere. You know, this place has cost me a fortune. I want to look after it. I'm not going to have it look like a complete shithole. Just because I'm a pack rat hoarder doesn't mean it has to look like a pack rat hoarder's house. I can have all my nice, like, hoardy things, but I just need to keep it in check. Not hoard everything in sight that looks interesting. I'm going to let that go through the dishwasher actually. That can go in the dishwasher. This carton can go in the dishwasher and then it can go in the recycling. Yeah, but you're supposed to wash the food out, so dishwasher it goes in. Because why do it by hand when you've got a machine to do it for you? Getting into shortwave and yes, I have actually. That is something that I've wanted to do for years, just to mess around with radio equipment. The thing that puts me off of it is the whole licensing thing. I don't like government interfering in like hobbies. I mean, one thing they're actually trying to do it in that's really pissing me off is the whole thing over drone regulations and for quadcopters and That really pisses me off, because I'm one of those people that likes to drive out to a fuck off field in the middle of nowhere and just absolutely tear it out, fly low, do loop-de-loops, fly into trees and all that jazz. And I really, really don't need or want some bullshit regulation saying that's illegal in some way. It's just like, fuck off. So yeah, I can... I like things like that. I would probably actually, because I don't watch TV, I'll probably actually hook that sort of equipment up to my TV antenna and just use that. But yeah, I would actually like to do that. I certainly would like to get into the bands of actually listening on it, because I think that could be quite fun. And then maybe try and build my own transmitters and whatnot. But yeah, it's something I'd like to get into. It's just a case of how do I get into it but skirt around the whole regulation government bullshit, because I don't want to be dealing with that. I've got better things to do than deal with bullshit of licensing and crap like that. I do actually have some walkie-talkies that are technically supposed to be licensed to actually use them, but they're on the actual free band, or at least they were when I last checked several years ago. So I just use them on occasion. I've used them and messed around with them. It's been a while since I last used, but yeah, it's just the case of, it's like I'm not spending like 1,000 plus like $2,000 on something I'm going to use for like 10 minutes one random day. That's just stupid. I don't have the cables or software with them. You can limit them in software, or you can modify them in the hardware. I think they've got a total power output of about 4 watts, which is just kind of insane. But the range on them is ridiculous, because I've used them on car journeys when me and Mum were going up for abroad and whatnot. That was fun. So we could keep in contact without having to use phones, because you run into the problems of phones are a distraction when you're driving. So yeah, I'd always recommend getting yourself a set of walkie-talkies if you're doing a relay like run like that. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm talking about. You know, you've got the sockets in the walls. I don't see why it wouldn't be possible. And on top of that, the TV antenna system actually outputs about 10 volts. So depending on the amount of power you're going to be, depending on the amount of power your receiver/transmitter uses, I don't know if you could get away transmitting out on it, whether that killed something on the actual circuitry. But I don't see why you couldn't use it to listen. I mean, at the end of the day, what is an antenna? It's a piece of metal sticking up in the air. Although the actual designing an antenna is complicated. It's a complicated beast. Right, what else do I want to throw in here? I want to throw in here cheese, and there's still the fish in the oven. Cheese. Always got to have a cheese sauce on your pasta. But yeah, you're basically, with my house, looking upon years of saving and years of work. It's been an end goal for a long time of mine. Yeah, I'd say try it. I see no harm in trying it, especially if you don't use your TV antennas for anything else. Even if you do, if you're just receiving, I don't see why it would matter a rat's arse. I mean, you can hook a DAB radio to it, why not a ham radio? And potentially use the 10 volts to power it. I still actually need to stick a ladder in the loft and whatnot. Right, I need the fish now. The fishy fish. Yummy fish. Smell the yummy fish. There it goes. So far my oven has absolutely 0 messes on it. Hello, you've managed to actually make it. Yeah, I'll get one off eBay. Yeah, I would actually, that's the way. One thing I do want to get is, because I'm going to be doing a charity bike ride, I want to get a 1980s boombox, hook up Bluetooth to it, and then just blast out trance the whole way. This is right from London to Paris, so it's a hell of a long way. I hope my gym training would have been enough, but I have my doubts. It's going to be hard and grueling anyway. But at least I've been to the gym, so I shouldn't kill myself too much. Now I've got to get the skin off. Because as much as I love fish, I absolutely detest fish skin. Fish skin is just horrible. Fish skin is just bleh. There are people who will eat the fish skin. The dog's one of them. I reckon he's completely mad. Right, this one's going to be an absolute... Hang on, can we get you off? We're also trying to do this without burning ourselves at the same time. Because the pot's just come out the oven and it's nice and burny, scaldy hot, waiting to take my skin with it. And then it's not the fish skin that's being removed, it's mine. We only want to remove the fish skin. I also used to like it when the heads were left on the fish because I could make them more fun to play with when I was little. And let's be honest, as an adult too. Oh crap, so I'm going to have to clean that off now. Yeah. Yeah, I know you can get those 80s styled ones, but generally the sound quality tends to be a bit shit on them, and when I'm going to be booming out trance, I kind of want the sound quality to at least be decent, so... even 90s, but I'm looking for more the 80s look on it, because, well, that's more fun. I'm sure I can find one for dirt cheap on eBay. I'm not looking like one of the really famous popular models that like go for stupid money with collectors. In fact, I never look for that stuff. It's just the case sometimes turns out the vintage computer I want just happens to be highly desirable by loads of other people, unfortunately. No, that went in the wrong bin, but oh well. The recycling people will have to find a way to recycle a bit of fish skin. This is probably the most inefficient way to do this ever, but... Ow! Ow, burnt myself. God damn it, fish! Why do you have to have skin? Why can't you be born without skin? Oh, I don't need a glove to hold that, that's good. That's it, we want your stuffing to come out as well into the pasta. Make it super yum. Right, that's evil, evil fish skin right there. Evil, evil, disgusting, horrible, nasty, minging fish skin. Got this side's departing easier from its skin, that's good. That's it. You come here, you horrible, horrible skin. In the bin with you. Oh, something just went on the flame. Didn't set on fire though. Sad face. We like fire. Although preferably I'd like to keep the fires contained to outside my house and not inside. So we like fire outside, we don't want it inside. Because inside it would destroy everything. Right, we've got one more bit of meat to get the skin off. Oh God, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry right now. The smell of this fish is making me salivate like the dog. Right, we managed to make a bit of a mess. So I'm going to clean that up. There we go. And then because none of that is skin, that can go in there. You can go in the dishwasher. fight with the housing people to get them to install the dishwasher in my house. It's kind of ridiculous. We managed to win that argument. Right, there we go. Got some fish spillage here. Gotta keep it all nice and immaculate and not disgusting. Not like my ex would have done. He would have absolutely trashed the place. Now we've got our fish, cheese, pasta with honey and yumminess, and oh my god, this smells delicious. You can go back in there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to go for like the crazy expensive ones. Which like, I don't even know which ones they are. Yeah, I don't. I declared myself when the TV licensing people sent the letter angrily demanding payment. I was just like, yeah, I don't watch TV. I just use it for games, so fuck off. If there was a option in there to put fuck off in there, I would have done. Because frankly, it's just the TV licensing thing is really just an outdated system now. You know, we've all got Netflix, we can stick ad block on and all that jazz, and there's always the piracy option as well. We almost lost our spatula then. And while there's some people who'd be like the high horse of like, oh, piracy's bad, depends on the context. Oh, you bastard! Now you made a mess. God damn it. Right, that's done. Turn you off. Grab a tissue and clear up the mess. I'll clean this properly after I've had dinner, and that's usually when I tend to clean off the hob. Now I need just a robot to do all the housework, and then all is good. Then I'm covered. But luckily, when it's just you in the house, it's really easy to keep everything clean, so that's good. I like a deep house. I don't get that. Yeah, I want to see the new Chernobyl thing. I think it's actually a drama rather than a documentary. Yeah. I like cooking. I find it fun. I've always enjoyed cooking. I've liked it. I've cooked in some capacity since my teenage years. What did I use these for again? Yeah. A bit of hot pasta. That's nice pasta. It's from Waitrose though. Although I have discovered I can feed myself for about 50 quid a week, so that's good. Even though I earn well, I've got mortgage and whatnot, so I kind of want to feed myself on a budget while still eating good stuff and not eating shit. Uni taught me how to eat on a skeleton budget of food. Of how you can basically make a meal out of anything in your fridge. And it also taught me the importance of the dishwasher. Dishwashers are amazing, and I don't know how people live without them. It's certainly not something I could live without. It's like all the stuff that needs washing up, be done in half an hour. I'll put it on, I'll go to bed, it will finish in the night, the drawer will pop open, and I will Enjoy it. Right, now that can stay there. This can go here. Oh, you're going to get a view of my sitting room. Woo! Yeah, that is off. So yeah. Yeah, I find I love it. Depends what you're cooking and how you're cooking it. But yeah, visual impairment, I can see how that could run into you running into problems, cutting your fingers off and whatnot. Oh, you'll soon know about that. God. Move that bloody paperwork crap out the way. The mat can go over there, that can go there. And let's have some light in here because it's a bit gloomy. I like it quite dark actually in here. So, yeah, let's do that and then turn on the main lights, which have a very sort of 60s sci-fi future look, which is what I've gone for. There's my little gaming chair, there's the gaming chair, the spinny one, which you can see the blanket on. I think it's actually a couple's chair, and I've got all the consoles and that over there, and a giant comedy light bulb that's actually pretty cool. But yeah, it's all very minimalist in here, which is good for keeping the place tidy, so it doesn't end up being a shit pit, which is not what I want. You know, my bedroom, when everything of my livelihood was in my bedroom, was a shit pit because there was nowhere to put stuff. But this is nice pasta. If you don't like fish, you wouldn't like it. But this works beautifully. I've had fish in pasta before. Yeah, I like stir fry. Most of the stuff I cook is on the hob. Fry ups, yeah, fry ups I do. Most of my cooking is hob stuff. I do sometimes do oven. I have done some baking in the past and I need to do more baking. I'll make some cakes. I want to make some cakes to take into work. Especially for the people who make cakes and bring them in. This might be a bit too much pasta, but we'll eat it anyway. It's nice to have made a pasta that actually has meat in it for once. Yeah. And some people do that. Sometimes it just becomes necessary. There's nothing wrong with selling it off, or selling on machines, or donating them to people who are interested in it. I've made a rule to myself that my workshop can be a messy clusterfuck, but the rest of the house has to be immaculate. I mean, you've got an idea of exactly how I sort of keep it when you look at it like that. Okay, so the blankets are a bit sort of everywhere, but then the dog was here earlier, so he kind of like attacks them and whatnot. But yeah, Hoover and that was run round at the weekend. Got all the nice lights up on the ceiling. That was a nice, quick, easy job. Well, getting the pendants off wasn't. That was an absolute pain in the arse. Mega SG, yeah. No, I don't have that. I have a Mega Drive, unless that's what you're talking about. Mega Drive is down there in the TV cabinet, all hooked up. I think that's hooked up to the RF actually, which means I need to tune that telly into it. But yeah, aside from the Sega Mega Drive, I don't have any other Sega consoles. I haven't planned on getting any more consoles. saying that I am toying with the idea of getting a Nintendo Switch because some of the games they've released for that look like absolutely awesome. I have no interest in getting the PS4 or the Xbox. Something about Nintendo's Nintendo Switch thing does appeal to me. The fact you can pull it off from the actual TV and use it portable is actually pretty awesome. They've almost gone like the PSP route, but Nintendo won't abandon it like Sony did with the PSP. Sony were really onto something with the PSP, but they just basically used it as a placeholder until the PS3 was released and forgot about it. So it's sort of a shame. It's a shame, really. If it wasn't for Nintendo, portable gaming would be basically fucked because it would just be the phones, and well, you only got to look at the quality of what's made there to realise gameplay is not a consideration. Ah, no, I don't have one of those. I've got the real thing. If I want to play the Mega Drive in HD, I can just like stick an emulator on my PSP. Not my PSP, I've got an emulator on my PSP for the Mega Drive. I can stick an emulator on a Raspberry Pi and hook it to the telly. So I haven't done that. The consoles I have got down there is, starting from this side to this side, is PS2, PS1, N64, Mega Drive, and then on the top is my Xbox 360 with the Kinect because I got hold of one for a teardown years ago because it was being sold for about 30 quid. My parents' TV because they upgraded to a newfangled OLED thing that's pretty awesome. My brother would like that for his PS4. But I'm really quite happy with that because, well, it's bigger so I can sit across the room and play. And then a giant light bulb thing because that just looks cool. Giant light bulb goodness. Goes back to the days when I used to be really obsessed with light bulbs. Although there's quite a lot of pasta to this, I will make one concession. Considering what I've had is a Belgian bun and some French bread today, that's probably actually a good thing. I'm actually having a proper substantial meal. Nice. Yeah, it's always fun to get a lot of these. The one emulation thing that's popped up is that Commodore 64 one that I'm interested in, and that's only because they've made it super hackable from design. I don't know what it's called, like the C64 Mini or something? That appeals to me. Just because it's very hackable and whatnot. Ah, that's why I went for it, because you like the emulation to be basically nigh on perfect. Yeah, the Mega Drive cartridge thing with an SD card would be really useful. But I don't have a lot of game storage space, I've discovered, much to my surprise. I put they down there, which DFS originally sent the wrong one. Got the correct one now, it's a little one with storage. So I keep all my PS2 and Xbox 360 games in there. Because I don't have many games for my Mega Drive and N64, we're able to fit it in one of the drawers on the TV cabinet. And the PS1 games are upstairs in my They're in the TV cabinet I've got because they also got a new TV cabinet. So I had that. So they're up in that under the my TV that was in my bedroom back when I only lived in a bedroom at the parents' house. PSP games, they're still with the PSP, which is... I don't know where the PSP bag is. It's probably in a bag of stuff somewhere. It might even be up here. I might... Yeah, it is. I stashed it somewhere. Where did I stash it? I don't know, I'll find it at some point. Stuff has gotten a bit lost in the move. Oh, yes. I'm still obsessed with the Turrican games. In fact, that's one of the things I actually managed to get for my Mega Drive that I really love, is a reproduction cartridge of Mega Turrican. And that's one of the games I got my PSP emulator. Oh god, yes. I used to enjoy doing those videos, like doing like long plays completing the game, because it's not an easy game and it has so many fuck you moments. There's so many elements of bad design that are really more of... They're not so much a problem with Turrican itself, they're just a problem with that particular era of games, because, well, games are a pretty new medium and they were suffering a lot of teething issues back in the 80s and whatnot. They were still learning about the whole process of making the game actually fair. And as we all know, the old games were based off the arcades, where the business model was to make them as difficult as possible to encourage you to put in more coins. The trouble is, they were always relying on your pocket money, which was a very finite and limited account. Begging your parents for another coin literally a minute later to stick in the arcade machine usually never went down well. The answer was pretty much always no. Yeah. I've got 4 Acorn Electrons and an Acorn Electron motherboard, and one of the projects I want to do with the motherboard is I want to make, because I actually managed to get hold of a green screen, like 5-inch CRT display, and so I want to make a like 1980s style portable with it. I've got an SD adapter thing for the not for the Raspberry Pi, for the Electron, so I can have that in it, so I can use that as the floppy drive and then have that sort of poking out the front, and that will be really cool. But that project was kind of being half worked on, sort of like one of the many like projects that seem to be worked on in parallel in my thing. But currently all the parts of it are just sort of sitting on the shelves upstairs in the workshop, waiting for the workshop to become actually active again, because the amount of times I've moved that bloody desk of all the test equipment on round the room is crazy. It's heavy. It's heavy when you got a ton of bloody oscilloscopes and whatnot on there. Right, this can go in the dishwasher. Dishwasher can go on and wipe down the surface, and then we can go upstairs. Do you like the Dreamcast? Yeah, I've never actually played it though. I've only like played it when it was like being demoed in the store, but it looked pretty cool. Ah yes, good old noodles. I like noodles. Noodles are good. Noodles are stir fry, so you can mix in some prawns and all that. I should have made more pasta. I'm still hungry, but that'll do. My stomach will eventually realise I've eaten and signal my brain that it doesn't need to eat anymore. That's definitely enough dinner to sustain me for the rest of the evening. Yep. And it's not bedtime yet, but it will be. It will go to bedtime soon. you like bedtime? Well, bedtime's just bedtime. Well, I've got a nice new cosy bed upstairs, so it's not a bed that's like really mangy and like being shagged in by both me and my brother and whatnot. Because I nicked his room when he moved out. God, I remember his first girlfriend, that was funny. I used to do one of my things that wound him up, walking in on him when he had sex. That was quite funny, that was. Used to wind him up. That's why I did it. Anything to wind up your older brother, doesn't matter what it is. And then I remember once I set up a fake hidden camera. And my brother actually went along with this. That I basically went on about like recording them having sex, and that was quite funny. And my brother went along with it because he found it was funny, but eventually he stopped going along with it, which was a bit rubbish, but hey. At least he went along with it. A lot of brothers wouldn't. Could have called me out. A lot of brothers would have probably called you out on the bullshit, but hey. Winding up your siblings is always fun, or even your sibling partners. The trouble is with that relationship with his first girlfriend is it was just literally all about sex. Which is fine for a short-term relationship, but anything long-term then that's just no good. And now my oven is clean. That is kind of the dishwasher's on, the oven's clean, the surface is white, all good. There is some bits that fell on the floor there, so we get the Hoover on that. Since the dog's gone home today, because it's Sunday. Oh yeah, and if you don't have one of these, which is lithium battery powered Hoover, get one. They're expensive, but they are awesome. They're just awesome. Get one. Buy it. Buy one now. No faffing around with wires. Which drives me mad. Yeah, noodles. Yeah, that's the way I want it. I don't want it to be a shit tip. Whereas my ex would have literally trashed the place in about 1 hour. Probably less. And that's probably for the better that we ended up breaking up. That was a shit show how that ended. This is why you want a dishwasher. But hey, that's the fun when everything turns out to be a bit of a shit show. Yes. Oh, we need to turn on our little lamp here. On top of the microwave. How's OBS doing? OBS is not doing too amazing at the moment, but it's managing. It's managing to stay alive, just about. Yeah, I'm currently doing this off the work phone mobile internet, which isn't the most reliable connection on earth. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, the workshop. Shall we show you what it looks like so far? I think so. We have the vintage computer collection, which is pretty much in the same vein as it was before. Those monitors need to go away somewhere proper. A cupboard to hide all the crimes and This is going to be a tool cupboard mostly for the rest of the tools. Vintage calculators have found their own little display cubby hole. All that good jazz. There's RCP. Lighting I put up today. PC setup and whatnot is... I need to buy a desk, which is not going to be cheap. I need to buy another cupboard to house a lot of that crap. This is all modern computers down to 90s computers. I think there might be the odd early 90s computer in this pile somewhere. I remember that last stream I came on and that guy was crazy for my Snapchat. I don't even remember that. Yeah, not so talkative. Yeah, you do get some dodgy stuff. And what I'm looking to do with my actual workbench, I did want to put the TV in here in the cupboard down here, but it didn't quite fit, which was annoying. So that will probably end up moving around the floor. I mean, I'm not too worried about having the odd thing that lives on the floor in here. You know, I'm not too worried about having a pile of computers or something. But in here is where clutter is allowed, basically. But yeah, I think the vintage computer collection in here is actually pretty nice. I do want to move some of it downstairs into the sitting room at some point, so I'll probably end up getting a bookshelf or something to put a few on. Like the prime cream of the crop suspects. But yeah, I've tried to group it by, like, all the Commodore machines are in one. The Atari machines are in another. Huskies have their own. Got a bit of a random one up there. Electrons are in there. See what I mean about 4 electrons? And all that good jazz. And then we got my good old PC setup. Which is the same PC setup I've had since uni when I found it in the skip. And yeah, there's a whole ton of crap. Yeah, it's coming on nicely. I mean, it's been a lot of work putting it together. You can kind of see why I've basically had a massive hiatus from the whole YouTube gig. Because I've been concentrating on getting all this into a state where it's not a massive clusterfuck. I mean, this room, literally, less than a week ago, was just nothing but boxes everywhere all over the floor. Yeah, the desk had the test equipment on. That cabinet wasn't there. The vintage computers were on display. But all of this in this nice pile here was strewn all over the place. Stuff that's in the cabinet was in boxes all over the place. You know, there's one cardboard box sitting on the floor now, which has got a few random miscellaneous things in here. And there is the power supply, and battery, which should probably go on the workbench. My resistor colour chart that I coloured in so I can actually see it. It's much better having it visual. Yeah, but all things considered, it is looking pretty damn good for when you consider the fact that it's actually early days. You know, none of that's wired up in the workbench. I mean, this is all wired up, and this is temporary. This is all going to have to be dismantled again when the new desk comes along. But yeah, I've wanted a man cave like this as well for a long time, and it's nice to finally have it, and that's just come through years and years and years worth of hard work and whatnot, and actually working to build up the finances to actually purchase my own place. Because that's what I wanted to do. I've also got all the batteries just currently sitting on the windowsill because, well, I've just been finding all the random loose batteries in boxes and been just dashing them up on the windowsill to sort out later. Most of them are rechargeable, so I will go through the process of charging them all. But yeah, it just comes with it. It's difficult to get your own house these days, I'm not going to lie. It's just it was just one of those things that happened at the right time, right thing. Sort of roughly after 6 months after I broke up with Aiden, sort of funnily enough. A little under that. considering he was banging on about moving out with me somewhere. But he would not have contributed to any of the finances of it. In fact, he'd have been a financial burden, I can tell you that. Now, here's something that hasn't appeared on the YouTubes that I might as well show off now. If I can retrieve it without the pile that the laptop's sitting on. Hang on, let me just think how to do this. We will. Oh, we've lost a whole load of viewers. I'm not even sure how that happened. But yeah, it's going slowly. Here we go. Right, I need to glue the thing back on, but we have here, if I can get it to open. This has been sitting in the office for months at work. This was an absolute mongrel to get home, but an old school word processor, complete with orange CRT. I was going to say plasma, but it's actually a CRT. I've had it apart to fix this disk drive, and the disk drive still doesn't work, so that's fun. It's an absolute mongrel to get to pieces. I'm not going to be disassembling it anytime soon. But yeah, I will eventually try and get that disk drive working again. It needs something. But yeah, thanks. It's been tough. It hasn't been an easy route getting here. I mean, that's the thing. It's people don't realise the absolute insanity it takes. Yeah, people don't realise the absolute insanity it takes to get to these things. It doesn't help that all statistics have been against me my entire life. The fact I'm autistic, which makes it very difficult to get work, from learning difficulties, which I find kind of ironic, considering I actually love the process of learning new skills. I tend to get bored of the old ones really quickly. I love the process of just learning new things for the hell of it. But yeah, it's the case of that. Yeah. And yeah, I got it with manual. Yeah, it's with manual, all that good jazz. But yeah, it's been a tough route to get here. It's not been easy. You know, people would look at this now and be like, "Oh, I'd love to have lived your life." No, you would not love to live my life, because it's not all dandelions and roses. That's what people don't always seem to realise, is that life could be really shit. You try going through months of depression, periods where you feel you are completely worthless. That's not fun. But yeah, it's slowly coming along. I mean, yeah, this is still just a massive pile of computer equipment that's unruly. Then I've got my two working projectors. I've got a third one actually in here somewhere that has a bit of a janky ass bulb in it that Ash Evans modified and proceeded to donate to the cause, which was absolutely awesome of him. I've had some fun messing around that projector. I haven't actually ever put these into any permanent use other than using them occasionally just to test a computer or something. The trouble is I find with them is they're not all that bright. I mean, yeah, they've got a massive, like, ridiculously bright bulb in them, but then they just are dim, if you get what I mean. You point at the wall and you can't really see much. This one's also got a bunch of dead pixels, so I'm wondering if I should swap the DLP chip with the one I've got over there somewhere. I think it's now in that cupboard. I mean, if you could get these bulbs to run out of here, you've had a pretty bright spotlight, which would be pretty damn rad. Yes, I do actually have an Amstrad. Hang on, I'll get it. Let me just... Why am I opening this to take the bulb out when I don't need to? It's just like, yeah, this is just what happens. I reach for a screwdriver and I start taking shit apart. I'm not entirely sure where you spotted the Amstrad or when you spotted it, but yeah, I do actually have an Amstrad CPC 464, and that is, let's pop you there. Fold up my A word processor's a brother. But the Amstrad C-Piece 464 is up here. Here's the monitor. The colour variant. Blue on it is a bit dim, so I'm hoping I can fix that. And here's the actual computer itself. This has been sitting in work for a while, because that's what I do. I basically have eBay deliver to work, my work address. And then this sort of stuff ends up... Because I ordered this before I moved into the house. And it just ends up sitting under my desk for months. In fact, I actually showed it to my boss when he came down from the US, and we had some fun messing about with it. Fired it up and had it running a test program. I even set up the word processor on his desk. The desk he was using, I set up all the retro computers I had under my desk. So it would be like Joe's workspace kind of thing. It was almost my way of reserving it for him. But yeah, that's a brother word processor. I don't have an Amstrad word processor because there's the WP1, which is the most famous and first version, and it actually goes through all the way into the early to mid-90s of word processors by Amstrad. It's rather quite interesting. But yeah, I still haven't done a count of all my vintage computers or computers in general, and I really should, since they're basically all sitting in one room, aside from this laptop. All the other machines are in here. Even random ones given to me. This is a Lenovo Yoga. I'm not overly impressed with the Lenovo Yogas. Yeah, PCW range, that's it. They're a bit shit, but it's got a GeForce in it. I've stuck Linux on it. I've stuck a hard drive, an SSD, because I've managed to acquire spare SSDs, believe it, if such a thing's possible. This is just me being a pack rat. There's a whole bunch of laptops being chucked away, so what do? I grab them and I salvage out bits out of them and whatnot. I've got a few spare SSDs, 250 gig, so I'm not sad about that. But yeah, it was the PCW range. I don't have a PCW. I would kind of like one, although where it's going to go up there, I don't know. I'm going to be holding off on the collecting again until I'm a bit more established and got things more sort of running, because I don't want to turn this into a place of clutter. Yeah, PCW were nuts. Remember one with a GUI like Gem. Yeah, I think they were the 90s ones when they started getting the GUIs. Where's my drink? Hang on, let me get my drink. I'm thirsty. This is the only room where I've put neutral white light bulbs in. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because the original Amstrads used to use the 3-inch drive because, well, Sir Alan Sugar, whether you love him or hate him, he certainly knows how to do the business and get the good deals, because he ended up getting a good deal on 3-inch discs, so that's the ones he used. I can respect the man from building his massive business empire from absolutely nothing. I always respect people who do that. Not like one of these fat cat fuckers who just gets it without putting in any work. Anyone who works for their fortune deserves it. It's people who just like get it given to them. They're not the ones who so much deserve it. Yeah, limited printer support. Yeah, I've read somewhere that actually for the original PCWs, part of the actual ROM, I think the main ROM was actually in the printer. I don't know how true that is because I haven't got one and I've never actually seen one to experiment with or been given the opportunity to mess around and play with one. This was definitely the best lighting choice for in here. actually like the monochrome CRTs. I wish they actually kind of still made them. Because I'd actually like to be able to use a screen which is just like pure green screen, pure amber, you know, something that's actually easy on the eyes. And actually tests have been done on this that actually find the colour that is most easy on the eyes, and this was actually done by car manufacturers like years and years ago, to find that one of the colours that is the most easiest on the eyes is amber. Which is probably why they went for an amber CRT in this. And I would be very happy to have just computer displays at work that can only display amber or green or something like that. Especially with all these websites that insist on having bloody bright white, black text. Oh, that's horrible on the eyes. I always use dark mode where possible, and there's actually a nice plugin for Firefox called Owl. I use that a lot. Oh, I just got a comment. That must be the one that died. My Tesco Huddo teardown and repair was done 4 years ago. I don't even use that tablet anymore. Sitting in this pile somewhere. Forecast started at 1 frame per 5 seconds, then improved slightly. Audio fine. I resist buying a dishwasher until they can load themselves. Beautiful pad, by the way, didn't catch a live stream. Yeah, live stream's still going, so if you want to join, you can. But yeah, it would be nice if they could load themselves, but I think that's a small thing to pay for. They basically do all the horrible, hard, nasty, mangy bit for you. Yeah, there wasn't much ROM. It didn't even have a character set in ROM. Oh, the mono CRTs on the Amstrad seemed low quality and very harsh. That doesn't surprise me because Mr. Sugar always would go for the cheapest. You know, it was the kind of like, make it as cheap as possible but give it perceived value. So a lot of items had things where they're built pretty like poorly or used like substandard parts, but then would have like really like just like one thing about it that was a really nice feature, like the Amstrad PCW portable one, carry one, which I wish I'd got that one from uni, but someone else nabbed it before me. That had a built-in like full capacity modem and whatnot, but the screen on it was terrible. Yeah, I like black and white monitors. Yeah, I know what you mean. The original Macintoshes, I've never used them, but Apple, despite their things on there, they do actually use, despite the amount of absolute things that Apple do that piss me off, they do make some and use some nice displays on their computers, and that's kind of always been the case. Even now, yeah, a Mac display is beautiful. It's quite often really actually better than a lot of the actual competition out there. And who makes the panels? Samsung. So yeah, really Samsung basically took the reign off Sony once the CRT died. I mean, once Sony's Trinitron became obsolete, then Samsung were the ones to take the reins for the best displays. I mean, OLEDs. My Samsung S8 work phone has an OLED display, and it's just gorgeous. It's lovely. I would love to have OLED displays for my PC desktop, but I've looked at the price of them. You're looking about 500 quid per display. So for a setup like this, that's going to be 1,500 quid for the display. And they're big. They're really big. So I've kind of made peace with the fact that I'll just use LCD. I've made peace with that. I would like to use OLED displays, but I could probably justify spending 500 quid on a display? Maybe. Not at the moment, but later on. But then, well, that same 500 quid could go towards a nice wide-angle lens I've got my eyes on for my Fuji, so I think the lens will win out for my camera. But it would be nice to have a really good display to view my pictures on. Yeah, the old Macs are pretty awesome, but the one that really, really interests me is an Apple II. I would love an Apple II in my collection, but they're either non-existent or really expensive. What the hell is this in my head? I've found something. I think that is actually... Oh, it's a scab. I think that is actually still an issue with OLEDs. I mean, that's why screensavers came out. Believe it or not, you can get burn-in on LCDs, and I have actually seen this only once, but on an ATM where the LCD... I mean, it's not the mechanism isn't exactly the same in how it works, but it kind of has the same sort of physical look to it of burning on an LCD. And I was looking at it gobsmacked, absolutely amazed, didn't realise this could happen to LCDs. I thought it was impossible, but nope. If you've got one that displays the same thing year on year for decades, you'll get burning on your LCD. I don't think burning's the right term, but yeah. Any display can be prone to a form of type of burning. I don't know the mechanism of how it works on a LCD, but yeah, OLEDs, plasmas, that kind of stuff. I mean, I'll tell you probably my favouriteest retro display, and I'll get it here because it's only over here. My favourite retro display of all is on this lovely CAF laptop, which I have done I've done like videos of. I haven't actually done a little overview of this laptop now. That was years in the waiting. And even did like a video of Aiden playing on it. He made a little program on it that was quite funny actually. It amused me at the time. But my CAF laptop with an orange gas plasma display, I just have to fire up because I want to see its beauty. I had to fix the power supply in this. It actually broke. And just the smell of it, that disgusting smell of burnt electronics this thing stinks of. It's beautiful. The fan on it is still knackered. Sadly, you'll probably get a load of flickering shit, but we can at least try and show it off. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, you got the flicker. There's not much I can do about it. But this display is so sharp, so nice. It's just beautiful. But yeah, I love this laptop. I love just sitting on it, using it. And the keyboard, well, using this keyboard, it has a very, I would call this keyboard doesn't have the same feel as the IBM 5150, but I find it just as satisfying to use. And I don't know what key switches it uses. Let's see if we can pull a key out and have a look. There we go. It looks like it might be one of the cherry variants. But yeah, it's really nice, like absolutely lovely keyboard. Even my mechanical here on my desktop, not quite as nice to type on as this. This has a nicer typing feel. It's very subjective, the whole typing feeling thing, but I find whatever key switches are in this, I need a keyboard with those on that can plug into a modern computer. But I really wish they still made laptops with these displays, because I normally hate plasma because modern plasma screens are just flickery pieces of shit. that I just sit there and it's like everyone's watching a film and all I can see is the bloody flicker of the refresh rate on the stupid thing. But these plasma displays are just the best. They produce such a crisp, nice thing. I reckon with modern technology you could make it even nicer. You could get rid of the flicker completely because you wouldn't have to worry about colour refresh rate and whatnot. Put it as a nice high resolution. Be like one of those aperture science monitors then that you see in a Portal. I haven't played Portal for yonks. Just don't get the time to spend playing games at the moment. It's not radioactive. I've actually looked at it with my Geiger counter trying to find radioactive stuff. Yeah. I'm not sure it'd be mechanic. Oh, medical, yes. There's a lot of old medical equipment that use those displays. I've never actually really been able to acquire medical equipment on eBay so far. I'll probably find something, but make a nice teardown. The trouble is with second-hand medical equipment is it's quite likely to come with various like biological nasty gunk on it that really needs to be decontaminated. You really only want to handle it with rubber gloves on. Right, I swear some of these batteries on this windowsill are knackered. There's a nice little test, there's the drop test where if they bounce, those two are okay. That's fine. That's fine. They're dead. So these can go into my thing. Yeah, I would like to get a hold of some of that In fact, I'd actually quite like to get a hold of some of those panels separately with all the data sheet and that and actually use them in random electronics projects. I'm actually using my spare food bin to put the that lot in. One thing I am going to do is I've got this nice little lamp here. It was my bedside lamp back in my parents' house, but could now be. Aidan used to hate this lamp because of the bulb I have in it. Too bright for him, but who gives a shit? The fun. The fun of X's. But at least I have had the opportunity to gain an X. Woo! Ah yes, my dad's old desktop PC. This thing's a beast. This thing was like the future back when it came out. All in one. Got built-in TV tuner, all that. Video capture and all that jazz. That's actually a separate PCI card. I've had this open. Yeah, this is quite a neat PC. At some point I need to wipe the hard drive on this and then I'll put Linux or something on it. Maybe you turn it into a... Actually, this would make quite a good server, actually. And then I could stick it under the stairs and it's got a monitor on it. That's some good thinking there. But yeah, believe it or not, you actually can find computers, cards from the 90s, and I've actually got some of them, which have TV tuners on. So the whole TV tuner on the computer was nothing new back in 2004 like we thought it was. You want a patient monitor. They're awesome. Yeah, I would actually like a proper ECG thing to measure my heart. Preferably something portable so I can use it at the gym and actually get accurate heart rate measurements at the gym. It can be like carry handle type thing, but yeah. Something like that, like a proper ECG thing. Portable that can run on batteries. Then I could just set it down on the floor at the gym. Maybe it has a log thing and I can actually see what my real heart rate is, not what the crappy heart rate monitors are on the gym or a old smartwatch one of my colleagues gave me that they died. Yeah, I should actually do gym tomorrow. Do I need to take clean clothes? No, I don't. I've got clean clothes at work actually, so I don't need to take clean clothes tomorrow. Yeah, I've been doing weights and that. I'm not super strong, but I'm making good. I'm making good progress on that. I'm making progress on building muscle. It's really on my legs where you can see it more than anything. It's starting to come through on the arms. Body, you can't really see it yet. It's still too much flab in the way. But yeah, it's good doing that. I do actually find it. Actually, if you're feeling angry or annoyed, the gym is fantastic because you can actually put that angry energy into something positive, which is actually improving your health. Yeah, it's Monday's a day I usually skip it if I'm going to skip it. I'm more likely to go to gym on a Friday than a Monday. I think, yeah, that's what I tend to do is mostly cardio, especially on the bikes and that. Especially when I'm going to be doing a bloody marathon on the bike, so that I need to prepare for after my Chicago trip. They're fun. That'll be happening soon. The other one, is that laptop dead that's in that pile? One of these boxes is basically a pile of dead laptops. Yeah, I find it's actually quite a good thing to do. I never thought I'd like it, but I turned out to be a bit wrong there. I ended up actually loving it. Turns out to be quite a positive thing to do. Beneficial for my body, beneficial for your actual mental health. It's like there's no real disadvantage to going to the gym. This has a horrible keyboard on it, by the way. I actually want to glue that back on, so let's grab some pliers to retrieve the broken bit of plastic. Yeah, I do like the muscle. Muscle can be nice, as long as it's not over the top. I think muscle can look quite sexy. Hang on, let's move the laptop or that's going to go flying. No. This is going to be an absolute mongrel to get out. I can tell you that. I don't remember it being this difficult to get out when it broke in when I first got the thing. There we go. Bit of broken plastic retrieved. Right, let's go over to the workbench. Clear off the cables. Oh God, they're all mangled up. Why do cables do this? Grr. Pop them on top of the cabinet because then they're out the way. Move the thermal imaging camera down there. Wires can go back. Bring the laptop up. Yeah, toned muscle. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Oh God, the amount of hotties there are at the gym. It's like so much eye candy, but the trouble is you'll find most of it straight, which is like really disappointing. Oh well, you can still. Our dishwasher's finished. I just heard it pop open. First few times I heard it used to make me jump, and I used to wonder what the hell it was and start investigating the house, thinking someone had broken in. But if someone does break in, I do have a crowbar somewhere, so not recommended. Not recommended if you value having all your amenities functioning. Not to mention I have about 1 million stabby sticks, so yeah. Breaking at your own risk. You might come out with a screwdriver sticking out your neck. Because I tend to take no prisoners when it comes to survival. Night friend. Oh god, I wouldn't mind a casual fuck buddy right now. That'd be awesome. Yeah, it's a brawl where you... so yours is a boxing one. Yeah, there's a boxing one actually. Thing. Yeah, have a good night. Sleep well. Yeah, there is a boxing one near where I work, but I'm not overly into boxing, so I'll do that. But yeah, there's so many hotties in the gym though. It's like you just kind of want to shag them all, but you just know they're all going to turn out to be like 90% of them straight, and then the ones who do turn out to be gay are going to be like, yeah, why would I want you? And it's like, oh, that's nice. Thanks for making me feel wanted. Saying that, I have had some. I will, when I go to Chicago, do the whole grinder thing, because that was funny. The whole Chicago trip last year got completely out of hand, and that was one of the things I loved about it. It was like literally just after the breakup with my ex, and I literally just... I aimed to get like a grinder date for every weekday, so like for 5 days, and ended up getting 3, so 60% success rate is still a success rate. I wouldn't say no. I tend to be like one of those who, if you ask nicely, you'll probably get a yes if I like the looks of you or whatnot. If I find you sexy. But yeah, I wouldn't mind having like a sort of casual, like regular casual type one at the moment, but that just doesn't seem to have materialised. To be honest, with the house move, I haven't really had time to put any effort into looking for any of it, so... Trouble is, after a while, you get bored of casual. Casual's fun for a bit, but it gets boring eventually. It's just like, meh. It's best when you've actually got passion for someone, and then after that, it's more fun. God, this is just... this is not in a happy state right now. Poor old typewriter. That's what bloody gravity does when it decides to throw it on the concrete floor when you're trying to take it home on the bike. Surprised the CRT survived, to be honest. Oh no, I just rubbed epoxy on my new jeans. Gah! Another set of jeans ruined. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah. I would not be too unhappy about that. There we go, that's drying. Oh, that's annoying because epoxy doesn't come out of fabrics. That'll be a permanent stain in those jean shorts that I really quite like. Right, let me wash that off my hands, and that can just sit there drying. Time is 11:34. Maximum I'm going to stay on now is for about half an hour. I tell you what, the builders are bastards for leaving lights on. They really are. They are terrible for doing that, because this is all new build round here, which is probably why the place is so nice. Oh no. Yeah, I'm slowly gaining muscle. Oh, that fell over. God damn it. Right, let's see if I can find a way of securing it so I don't have to sit here for 5 million years holding it. What can I use? I can use you, can't I? No. Hang on. Let's utilise the laws of physics to our advantage. Once I pop that in, I think that can stay in the keyboard, to be honest, in the actual word processor. Right, that should be tacky enough to hold itself now. Yeah, so, oscilloscopes are in use. There's those two. There's my Rigol there. There's a Sinclair one somewhere. It's my Sinclair scope. I remember getting this and taking a picture of Aidan with it, and he was just looking miserable as ever, like, get that fucking camera out of my face. He regularly had that. I mean, my motto to him was like, you can say no to sex, but you can't say no to cuddles. Because he used to get annoyed when I used to cuddle him all the time. It's like my reply to that was, you can say no to sex, but not to cuddles. Cuddles, you have no choice. You will be cuddled. Whether you want to be or not. I'm an affectionate mofo, and I will cuddle everything that I love and care about. Dog gets plenty of cuddles. Todd didn't like cuddles, but it didn't stop me cuddling him. You can say no to sex because, you know, for whatever reason you cannot be in the mood, but cuddles, that's mandatory. Right, I don't know what the time is. The time on the computer is 23:37. I've got work tomorrow. Yeah, cuddles are the best. It's nice just sort of snuggling up. The dog was a mixture of on my bed last night and in the sitting room. Oh, God, I'm tired. Yes, slowly coming together. Here you go. Here's a pot with a load of vintage chips. I think are like op amps or something like that. I don't really know what they are. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. I will have this. I mean, the whole house is my lair. It's not just one room now. Yeah, you can actually have some fun with the whole tickling thing. Especially once you know tickly spots. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you can have some fun messing around with that. I tend to have very few very specific ticklish spots that once you find them. Yeah. You just go to sleep. It's lovely being going to sleep being cuddled by your partner. I'm not gonna lie, that's a lovely feeling. That I do miss. I miss that one quite a lot. Hopefully I'll find myself a better partner next time. I got a bit more of an idea of what to look for now and what to look out for and what to avoid. I learnt a good few warning signs from my ex, so it's not all bad. I'm glad I had the experience. This one isn't going to come out as metal cover, is it? No, it's going to be a stubborn mofo, isn't it? I'm probably just going to end up stabbing myself in the finger or something stupid. Hang on, let's take off the other magnets. That'll make it a bit easier. Oh God, that's all. You sometimes forget how strong these magnets are. Hmm? That might work. Yeah. I hope having a partner thing was pretty damn nice. That is until they go and have a mental breakdown on you. Try and steal your car. And then proceed to belittle you for your successes and whatnot, and release all their jealousy, treat the hospital staff like shit, and it's just like, yeah, I'm better off out of it. It was a fun experience, but the last 6 months, that's where the problems really kicked off. Once he thought he had me. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's just nice to do that, just chill. Is domestos a good cleaning substance for PCBs? I don't know. So apparently we got like, what? I have never tried using bleach to clean a PCB. My advice? Try it. It will either work and make them nice and clean, or it will completely ruin them. This is actually vinegar in here. It's got all weird coloured, which is kind of funky. I use it to neutralise battery corrosion. But yeah, I'm going to head off now. I'm tired and need to go to bed. Work tomorrow. Gotta continue earning my paycheck. I got a mortgage to pay. But yeah, I'm going to knock that laptop, that PC into standby because or shut it off or whatnot. Those batteries can go in the spare food bin, or aka the battery bin as I call it. Yeah, I'll shut this down. Shut down. Norton's complaining that it's going to run out of date soon, so that's probably something else I need to fix. Although no, Mum should probably just get another copy from Tesco's, which is good enough. A lot of people are like, why are you using Norton? Because it's just easy. You know, pick an antivirus, use an antivirus. It really doesn't matter which these days, you know. Norton's not the terrible resource whore it used to be. It used to be terrible. Now it's just slightly less than terrible. Also used to be a lot more expensive back in the day as well. It's actually come... antivirus has actually become a lot cheaper these days. And then the built-in Windows Defender thing in Windows 10 is actually surprisingly decent. So, yeah. Yeah. Night. It's always nice seeing the comments and that pop up. But yeah, bedtime, sleepy times, work, got a mortgage to pay. Could I get away with taking tomorrow off? I don't know. But yeah, night and whatnot. How do you end this thing?